Hi there, welcome grade 6. My name is Minna Assam, and today we are going to talk about Unit 4, Structure and Function of Living Organisms, Lesson 1, Absorption and Transmission of Water and Mineral Salts in Plants. Are you ready? The objectives for this lesson is identify the role of root hair in absorption of water and mineral salts from soil, and also explain the transmission of water and dissolved substance in plants, and explain the transpiration process in plants. Ready? I hope so. What is the structure of plant? Any plant. What is the structure of plant? To know the answer, remove a plant from a planter or soil and notice the types or the parts that consists of. You will notice that it consists of two systems, root system and shoot system. Root system consists of roots and shoot system consists of the leaves and the stem. So root system and shoot system participate together in making the plant food by, yes, you know, photosynthesis process. That's correct. So let's explain the photosynthesis process. First, the plant leaves absorb the carbon dioxide from air, and the plant leaves absorb the sunlight that comes from the sun, and the root hair in roots absorb water and mineral salts as phosphor, magnesium, calcium, nitrogen, zinc, all these. So, as you can see, here is water and mineral salts. Which part will absorb it? Right, roots. And here's the sunlight and carbon dioxide. Which part will absorb it? The leaves, that's right. So it will produce two things. So the photosynthesis process produces the food which is formed inside leaves as sugar, and the oxygen gas which is necessary for respiration of living organisms. So I can summarize the photosynthesis process as carbon dioxide, water, and mineral salts, and light energy. They are the plant's need to produce oxygen and plant food. That's clear? So if I ask you, complete the sentence. The absorption of water and mineral salts from soil occurs by roots or stem? Great, roots. If I ask you the transmission of water and mineral salt, take care, I said transmission of water and mineral salts from roots to the other parts of the plant. It occurs by the stem. Super. So did you get the difference between them? Here I said absorption of water, but here I said transmission of water. So absorption by roots, transmission by stem. So first, let's find the absorption of water and mineral salts. As you know, it occurs in the root hair, but what is the structure of the roots? So we're gonna study the root system and the root hair. First, the root system. What is the structure of this system? If we take a cross section in a plant root, we notice that it consists of many layers. It's composed of a number of layers, starting with epidermis, which is a thin layer, and then cortex, which is a thick layer that follows the epidermis layer, and then the endodermis, and here is xylem, and at the middle, pith layer. So it's a structure, number one, epidermis, cortex, endodermis, xylem, I can say wood layer, and pith layer. Can you differentiate between them? Here's the epidermis, as you can see. It's external thin layer that has the root hair extended from its cells. So this is the root hair. And cortex thick layer follows the epidermis layer. Endoderms follow the cortex. Xylem follow the endoderms. Pith, it's the last layer that follows the xylem layer. Is it easy? I hope so. And you know that the function for root is two things, or are two things. The function for roots is branched and extended through the soil particles, allow fixing the plant in the soil, this is number one, and absorbing water and mineral salts from the soil. So what are the function for root? Fixing the plant in the soil, absorbing water and mineral salts from the soil. So let's talk about root hair. I can call it capillary. The structure, it extends from the epidermis as we mentioned. And if you notice, here is the vacuole. It has big vacuole that contains salt solution. So if I ask you give reason, for example, the cell membrane of the root hair, it has selective permeability. What is it? So the cell membrane has selective permeability to allow some types of salt to pass according to the plant's need inside the vacuole or inside the parts of the plant. You know that the soil contains different salts, but according to the plant's need, it enters inside the cells, and which is called selective permeability. And also, the concentration of salt solution inside the vacuole is higher than the solution outside of the vacuole, which is in the soil. Also, to help water to transport from soil to the root hair by osmosis feature. So we're gonna talk about two important definitions, selective permeability and osmosis feature. Let's find this out. Here is the semi-permeable membrane. The semi-permeable membrane, it's a membrane that allows the substances to enter inside the plant. So what is meant by selective permeability? It's the process by which the cell membrane of the root hair allows some type of salt to pass according to the plant's need. So if the plant, for example, need calcium, so calcium only will pass. If the plant need zinc, zinc only will pass, and like this. And osmosis feature, it's a transmission of water molecules through the semi-permeable membrane, but from an area with high concentration of water to an area with low concentration of water. So let's talk in details in this point. From high concentration of water, which means it has low concentration of salt. And the low concentration of water, which means it has high concentration of salt. If you have two cups, the two cups, they are different in the amount of water. Cups of water, one cup at the top, it contains water at the top of the cup, and the other just contain 20 milli. So if I give you 2 spoons of salt and the solving imposed, what do you think? They will be the same concentration? For sure, no. The high concentration of water contain low concentration of salt, and the low concentration of water contain high concentration of salt. So high concentration of salt, which means low concentration of water, and vice versa. Let's find the transmission of water and the solvent mineral salts in roots. We said that the root hair extends from the epidermis, which is a thin layer. So the transmission of water from the soil to the vacuole of the root hair occurs by osmosis feature, as we mentioned, and while mineral salts are transmitted from the soil by selective permeability. So transmission of water by osmosis, transmission of salts by selective permeability. The process like this: water and dissolved mineral salts absorbed through root hair. in the epidermis layer, and they are transmitted into endoderms. Then the other layer, which is xylem. So xylem, it's a layer that regulates passing the endodermis layer. It's the layer that regulates passing the salts and water of water to xylem. So if I ask you, write the scientific term, it's a layer that regulates passing of water to xylem, which is endoderms. And xylem, which is a wood tissue or wood layer, rises them to stem and other parts of the plant as leaves, flower, like this. So after reaching water and mineral salts to all the parts of the plant must get rid of the excess water through holes called stomata by the transpiration process. What is that? As humans, we drink amount of water and we have excess water that we get it out as urine. The same idea. Also, the plant get excess water, so they get it out by holes called stomata by the process called transpiration process. What is the definition for transpiration process? It's a vital process by which the plant loses excess water in the form of water vapor through the stomata, which is spread on the two surfaces of the leaves and the other green parts to the surrounding environment. So I can say biological process and vital process, both of them right. So if we get a plant and cover this plant with jar, for example, glass jar, and keep it for a time, you will notice that, or you will observe water drops. As you can see, you will observe water drops are condensed on the inner surface. What is the conclusion here? The green parts of the plant get rid of the excess water through stomata by transpiration process. Let's find the definition for stomata. They are tiny holes, as you can see, tiny holes spread on the two surfaces of the plant leaves, especially the lower surface, and the other green parts, through which in the plant get rid of the excess water. You know that it's in the lower surface of the plant leaves, and it's surrounded by two guard cells. What is the function for this? The guard cell control opening and closing stoma by changing its shape. So here's the stoma, and here is two guard cell to open and close the stoma. So let's find the rule of transpiration process. First, here the absorption of water occurs in the roots. So through the root hair, then the transportation of water and dissolved salts to all body parts by xylem. Xylem take these particles and send it to the green parts. And then the excess water will get out by the stomata during transpiration process, acting on pulling water to upward. Did you get it? This is all the lesson. I hope you get it very well. See you next session. Bye.